So everyone thought I was a mug, but he cried on the steering wheel. He hit the steering wheel like the queen and princess you need to be treated like. You walk away. But I felt like I was competing with her all the time, his ex-girlfriend. Get him out of the house. I don't want him anywhere near me. Bearing in mind, this had been like 9 months of being a secret again. You know when some girls try that wet hair look and it just looks really good and they look like Kendall Jenner, and then there's me who just looks like they've got out of the shower and couldn't be bothered to blow dry their hair, which is the truth. Hello honeys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're just joining me now, then hi, my name is Imogen and I have wet hair. I'm really sorry, but I was so excited to film this story time that I just got out of the shower and was like, makeup, can't be bothered to blow dry my hair. If you are new here, then thank you so much for finding me. I don't know how you found me, but please definitely stay. I have story time series every single Sunday on this channel. Plus, I upload every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. So we get 3 videos a week, so make sure you subscribe, hit the like button for this video because we have got a very good story time. I will link part 1 or part 2 up here somewhere. Never know which side it is. But I will also link the previous parts in the description. So make sure you head over there because then you can watch the previous parts, because otherwise you're going to be like, part 3, what happened in part 1 and part 2? Or you can go there and you can see. So let's get on with the story time. Quick little disclaimer that I like to say at the beginning of story times. I don't want to talk about the past. No one loves the past, but the past shapes you into the person that you are today. And I want to share my past experiences with you guys because I want you to all know that we are not alone. So many things that I've been through, so many of you relate to. So I feel like by me making these videos, then you can see that you are not alone. And we've all been through it, hun. We've all been through it. So last cliffhanger I left you on was just leading into my 17th birthday. Well, let me tell you. Went out for my 17th birthday, absolutely loved my life. Hadn't seen Toby in a year. A good year, even though we lived basically 1 road down from each other. Like, it's actually ludicrous if you think about it. I'd been out clubbing, I used to work for clubs, like didn't see him at all. So I'm at my 17th birthday and I'm really enjoying myself in this little bar. Come out of the bar and I can't explain it to you. I came out of the bar, the security was not letting a big group of people in, and I was like, I just want to get out, like trying to squeeze through. As I squeezed through, I'm basically in his face. Like this. I swear on my life, I was like, am I drunk? Because yes, I used to drink. I was a little party animal. Let's not talk about it. But I was like, am I really drunk? Or am I seeing things? Or is this actually happening? So I honestly went white in the face, like a ghost white, right? All my friends were like, you know, like, oh my God, what is actually happening? So then I just legged it. I legged it away from the clubs into like this side road that leads to the Churchill Square car park. Like, why are you going to a car park, hun? I was like, I can't cope, I just need to go to the car park and relax. You're right. So I've legged it, I've absolutely legged it. And then all of a sudden I hear, Imo. And I'm like, no, don't come after me. I'm gonna get beaten up if you start coming after me. He's chased after me, he's like, can we just talk? And I'm like, can we just talk? I should have sung that. Wasn't out at the time, so. Talk about where we're going. We're gonna get beaten up. He's there and he is giving me the spiel. And I could have gone and been fiery, argumentative, stood my ground, been really good, but no, I didn't. I listened to him, believed the lies, and loved it. I loved every minute of it because I was like, wow. So he was like, we've broken up, we weren't working, I only got back with her because of the kid, I didn't actually want to be with her. Did my dad talk to you? My dad said he saw you. All I've done is thought about you. He was like, I used to just lie there in bed and think about you. I was in such an unhappy relationship. I've wanted you this whole time, da 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 da. And I was like, what? And he was like, I couldn't give you what you want, but I can give you what you want now. He was like, happy birthday, I knew you'd be out. And I was like, so you've decided to ruin my life on my birthday, are you okay? I'm joking, but do you know what I mean? So manipulative, so horrendous. Let's not talk about it. I'm hoping that you guys learn from my mistakes because I did make mistakes, and I'm really hoping that by telling you all, you're like, oh right, ding ding ding, I'll listen to Imogen's bad devil on her shoulder and I will leave this person because you deserve so much better. Like, I want you to know that this whole situation, should have walked away from it when I was very young. Should never have gone back, but I went back because I'm this person that hates letting things go. I like to make things work even when they're falling apart, and that is just me. I don't walk away from anything. Like, I don't. Bad friendships, I'm like, I'll just stay put because they're gonna be nice again. No, they won't, because that friend isn't treating you right. Like, I really need to urge you to understand your self-worth. Write down 10 things right now about how amazing you are. Stop the video, write down things about how amazing you are, and then realize if anyone doesn't treat you like the queen and princess you need to be treated like, you walk away. Get gone, you get out, move your stuff to the left, because everything I've bought is in a box to your left. In the closet, mate, that's my stuff. Yeah, if I bought it, baby, please don't touch, all right? I'm just singing some lyrics, I'm sorry, but I love that song. Irreplaceable from Beyonce. Such a good tune. My friends had already gone to the club. My friends were in my booth, loving life. Like, I had a little booth. They were loving life. They were loving the free drinks, you know, the free vodka and cranberry juices. All round, Unlimited's just standing in a car park, I would say 2 hours on my 17th birthday. Yeah, it was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. But me being me, I was like, oh, this is the best way to spend my birthday, because I was just so obsessed with him. And I was like, this is fate, we're meant to see each other, even though he obviously planned to come out because it was my birthday. We walked home and he was like, I'm gonna get you a kebab. Got me a kebab for my 17th birthday. Loved it. Got me a kebab for my birthday present. I'm a cheap baby princess. But looking back now, I definitely should have held my standards higher. Not because a kebab isn't a good present, but it's because the thought wasn't there. We walked past the kebab shop and he was like, let me get you one for your present, hun. And I'm like in my head going, oh my God, he loves me. And I'm looking at him like, oh my God, you're an angel. Now I'm like, I would have been happy with a dairy-free, gluten-free chocolate bar from Tesco. Obviously, I wasn't dairy and gluten-free back then because my stomach was normal. Ha ha ha. Love that. Cry for me. Let's not cry. But I would have been happier with a 90p chocolate bar that was thought out. This wasn't thought out. But at the time, I'm like, let me do whatever you want. Drop a ball and I'll go run after it, even if it's in the road. My friends had my key, so they were loving life. You know, they were in the booth, loving life, being like, yeah, my name's Imogen, it's my birthday, kind of thing. And they had my key. So I was like, do I go and try and find them? I couldn't get hold of them. There was no signal in the club. So then I thought I'd just go with him and stay with him for a little bit at his, because his mum wasn't there. She was in London for the weekend. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll go there. Coincidentally, in London for the weekend, he's loving his life. It's my birthday weekend. Joyous and rapture. This was the beginning of the very end. So then, on my 17th birthday, woohoo, well done, Imo. She secured the bag. Not a bag that you'd want to secure. We had a little chat in the bed, and he was like, will you be my girlfriend? I was like, let me think about it. No, I wasn't. I was like, yes, I will. And then he said that he loved me. So I was like, this is it. Like, this is it. And I know this sounds really bad. This is really bad. I felt like I'd won. Finally won. Like, finally, this is so bad. But I felt like I was competing with her all the time, his ex-girlfriend. I felt like I've won. I've actually got him now. I have actually won. I am what he wants. Then, he was like, but obviously we're going to have to keep it a secret, because it's going to have to be something which we gradually introduce, because I have a child and I don't want to not see my child. Now, my huns, you deserve so much more than this. I understand he had circumstances, but I really hope that you learn from me and realise that you really do deserve more. So then, it got to the point where my parents had to find out. The first time my parents found out, I was living with my dad, and my dad found out because I'd got beaten up, and it was all because of me dating him. This time around, he was actually my boyfriend. So I actually had to tell them. So I said to my dad, I need to go on a drive with you, because I loved a good drive. And then my dad pulls over at the exact point he pulled over when he told me that my dog had died. And it was an absolute weird, that should have given me some sort of sign to say, this isn't good news, Imogen. Like, leave this boy because it's not good news. But it didn't. So then my dad was like, I know what you're gonna say. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, you're going back out with Toby, aren't you? And I was like, yeah. And then he just broke down. He cried his eyes out. He cried on the steering wheel. He hit the steering wheel. Obviously he wasn't driving. He parked up and he put his head on the steering wheel and he was like, no, my baby, no. You can do so much better. You deserve so much better. Please don't get yourself into this pickle, please. And even my dad crying and being like that to me didn't make me realise, stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. Like, your dad cares about you. Stop what you're doing. But I was too in deep at this point. I thought I loved him, but I definitely didn't. But I genuinely thought I loved him, and I was like, this is it. Like, this is the one I'm going to marry, blah, blah, blah. So eventually, much to my dad's disappointment, my dad ended up letting him stay around a couple of times. The other couple of nights a week, I would sneak him in. He was staying at mine basically 5-6 nights a week, and if we didn't see each other, it would only be because he had his child. But then when his child would go to bed, he would either pop up and see me, or he would talk to me on FaceTime. We were just inseparable. But I used to be so jealous of my friends, because they'd be able to go to Pizza Express with their boyfriends while I'd be sitting in having 2 for Tuesdays, or, you know, having takeaways constantly and just sitting there. And it made us get really close, because we had to spend so much quality time just being in my bedroom and just talking and talking and talking. But also it was just so hard, because normal things that relationships you can do, we were so restricted, and it used to really get me down, but I didn't want to show him because I didn't want him to leave me. A really good friend of mine at the time, if she's watching, then I love you, baby girl, and you'll vouch for this for me, but basically she lived in Burgess Hill, which is about 25 minutes from Brighton, 25 minutes from Brighton, and she would let us stay around her house. She would literally let us come on a weekend, me, her and him, like 3 of us. Like, she would literally let us come stay around her house. Her mum and dad were so nice, and they were like, we know you can't really go out with him and stuff like that, so we'd literally stay around her house. She had a pool, we'd go swimming in the summer, like, we'd have so much fun. She'd have some of her friends round, and then me and him would go out on Burgess Hill and just like go shopping and go for dinner, and that was like date night. So we'd go there most weekends. If he didn't have a child, we'd go there most weekends, and that was me feeling like I was actually in a proper relationship. I actually felt like a girlfriend. I actually felt like we could do stuff together, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? It got to the point where he was like, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep living a lie, looking over my shoulder. And he was like, I'm in love with you. I'm completely in love with you. I need to be completely honest. Bearing in mind, this had been like 9 months of being a secret again. Then he said, I'm going to go and meet with her. So then he went and met with her and was like, listen, I don't really know what happened, but he went and met with her and was like, listen, I love her and I want to be with her, and I am going to try and make it work. If you try and stop me from having my child, I'll take you to court. And that is how that is going to be, because my child is my life and you're not using him as a pawn in a chess piece as an argument, you know, so I will fight you for this. It was very difficult. It was very difficult. She would make our life together hell. Like, genuine hell. She would tell everyone in Brighton that she's been sleeping with him. All my friends would call me up and be like, you know, she's still sleeping with him. He'd then cry because he was like, why is she doing this to me? He'd call her up in front of me and be like, listen, why are you lying? And she'd be like, I know it's a lie, but you deserve it. And it was like, this is hell. Like, imagine being with a person, you've been with him for a couple of years, his ex-girlfriend is running around telling everyone in Brighton that she's still sleeping with him and having sex with him, and you look like a mug to everyone. So everyone thought I was a mug, but he wasn't even sleeping with her. Like, he, hand on heart, never cheated on me. He, hand on heart, never cheated on me when we were together. However, then I was never allowed around his child, obviously, because she stopped that. It got quite serious and we were like, we want to kind of move in together. And it came up that my dad was with his ex-wife, who I really didn't like. She was really horrible and I really had zero tolerance for her, and she really didn't like me because I was daddy's little girl and she wanted me out of the picture. We ended up making plans to move in together. My auntie, love her so much, had a flat, a 2-bedroom flat in Brighton. She ended up giving it to us for very, very low rent. But before that happened, as I said, she'd been running her mouth and telling everyone in Brighton that she was still sleeping with him. Unfortunately, he never cheated on me when we were together. However, when we were seeing each other, he did something very, very stupid and horrible. I was at my dad's and he was coming round that evening. And at this point, we're very strong. We're an actual couple and we're very much in love. You know, we did everything that couples did. We went on holidays together and all sorts of things like that. However, I then get a call from my friend in Brighton. She's like, listen, Imogen, my sister was with his ex-girlfriend last night. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, she's basically said that he got something from her. You can imagine what I'm talking about. He got something from her on 2 occasions when he was seeing you. I was like, no. And I know this sounds bad, but all the other lies I didn't believe. This one, I believed. Like, I just believed it. And my friend was like, I think this is true. And I was like, so do I. So then he's come down the stairs, come into my room, and I've just confronted him. And I said, what did you do when we were seeing each other? And he just broke down. And he told me.
Hello angels, just quickly wanted to pop this little part of the story in. By the way, I haven't washed my hair yet, haven't brushed my hair, and I still have mascara from last night that I forgot to take off. Wonderful. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you that. What makes this story even worse is that morning he went to meet her and his child at a park. And he spoke to me and was like, I'm finally going to tell her, you are my girlfriend. I want to be with you for the rest of my life. I am going to tell her that you have to be around my child. So I was like, oh my God, finally, like, normality is going to be here. I'm finally going to have sleepovers around yours when your child is going to be there, etc., etc., etc. So I was like, this is going to be perfect. But he wasn't meeting her for that. He was meeting her because he'd heard the rumours were coming out and he was shitting himself, excuse my language. He was absolutely bricking it that she was going to tell me. So he went to meet her to shut her up. Makes it even worse. Makes it even worse because I thought, oh my God, like, he's meeting her and he's being such a man. No, he's being even weaker. I'm going to go and brush my hair, take my mascara off, make myself look pretty.
And listen, we're like 3 years into our relationship by now, like 3 years knowing each other and 3 years being intense with each other. And at this point, we really were all over each other, like completely obsessed with each other. And everyone used to, you know, tease him because he just used to want to spend time with me. He didn't really see his friends because he just wanted to be with me. And he just broke down. And I remember running upstairs to my dad being like, get him out of the house. I don't want him anywhere near me. He did something to me. And I was like, going crazy. I was like, I can't believe you do this to me. Like, you cheated on me just because I wasn't your girlfriend. We were still seeing each other. You were still staying in my bed every night. So like he was getting something from me and something from her in the same day. So he did something with her in the day and then would come to me at night for the same thing. Like, can you imagine? I felt sick. I was like, ugh, you've taken advantage of both of us. But at the time as well, I hated her so much that it just made it even worse. And I was like, I felt so insecure. I felt so much like I had to compete with her. It was hell. Like, it really, really was hell. I was even more insecure than I'd ever been because of this. And it screwed our relationship up completely because, yes, it was at the beginning of our relationship, but if I'd have known at the beginning of the relationship, it would have been different because I didn't love him then. When we were first seeing each other, I never loved him. I thought I loved him, but I didn't love him. But now, at this point, this deep into the relationship, I really actually fell really hard for him. So thinking about him doing something else with her absolutely screwed me over. I felt like I couldn't be intimate with him in that way because of what he'd done with her. I mean, I'm not going to disclose what it was, but you can kind of get the gist. But he basically said to me that he was literally just using her to finish. And I was like, that's so horrible. Like, that makes you even worse of a person because you do that to her. She still loves you. She has a kid with you. Like, obviously that's going to give her the wrong end of the stick. Anyway, it was years and years ago, but I'd found out so far into our relationship that it really, really screwed me up. So then I chucked him out of the house. I was like, get out of the house. He ended up sleeping on my doorstep. He slept on our doorstep. He slept on the doorstep. Then my dad went down in the morning because he thought the post had come. And then he's seen him slumped on the doorstep. And he was like, please just let me in, Ben. Like, I'm so sorry. My dad said to me that what he's done is bad, but what he's done was at the beginning of the relationship and you can't go back and change things. So if you want to be with him, you make it work. If you don't want to be with him, you can't. If you want to be with him though, you cannot bring it up ever. Because if you bring something up that someone's done and you've forgiven them, your relationship will be awful. But I knew in my head that I don't let things go. Like, I don't let things go. I don't forget things. I wish I did, but I can forgive someone, but I never forget. And I don't know if anyone else is like that, but that's really me. I just really hold on to things and become really upset with it. I've got better as I've got older. I'm not like that anymore, but I couldn't get over it. I forgave him for it after he'd begged for a long time, you know, and he'd been in the doghouse. And then I was like, I actually just hated him but still loved him. It was so weird. Like, I found it really hard to be intimate with him because I think about him doing that with her. And then I was like, what kind of person are you? Like, you used someone that loved you for what? Just to finish and just to, like, you could have got that from me. I don't know why you needed to get it from two people. And he was like, I was so confused, like, she put it on me and it was a really hard situation, like, our baby was asleep in the lounge and I was just like, whatever, do it. And he was like, I didn't even touch her, I didn't even kiss her. He was like, I wasn't intimate with her. He was like, I didn't kiss her, I didn't even touch her head, any of her body part. I want to know that that's the truth. So then he got on the phone to her and he was like, go on then, tell Imogen the truth. And she was like, this is what happened, this is what happened. And she loved it. She was laughing about it. She loved it. And then he was like, but I didn't even touch you. I didn't even kiss you. And she was like, yeah, I don't care about that. You still got this from me. So then it kind of did make me feel a little bit better that he didn't kiss her or didn't touch her, because I felt like he didn't care then. He only did it because he wanted that. And I still couldn't get over it. I still couldn't get over it. Like, I used to bring it up in arguments. If we had a big argument, I'd be like, you did this to us. Do you know what I mean? And that's me being very honest again. I am very much a person, unfortunately, that can't forgive things like that. I really can't. I tried to make it work and tried to make it work, but I just couldn't forgive that. I could never move past it. But the thing is, I want you to all think that if you're with someone that's cheated on you, that you should leave them, because, you know, I don't know the circumstances, but I really do believe cheating is wrong in all circumstances. I really do. The thing is, everyone's tolerance level has completely different tolerance. Like, I know relationships that have been together for 10 years and someone's cheated and they've made it work because, you know, when you've been with someone for 10 years, sometimes things go wrong and sometimes you lose communication and sometimes, you know, things happen. So I am not perfect. I am not God. I'm not here to say, leave your boyfriend, leave your girlfriend because they've cheated on you, because I don't know your relationship. I can't. But I truly believe that it is a weak act and I can't trust someone again for doing that. Like, I'd never cheat on anyone. So I can't trust someone again for doing that, because I think if you have that in you, if someone's in front of you and they offer you something, you say yes because you're weak. And I think it's a really weak thing to do, because if you had the strength, you'd come clean to someone and say, I'm having these thoughts about wanting to maybe have sex with someone else or wanting to do something with someone else. And you know, you have to be honest in your relationship. I'm very honest, and I have very good communication with Spencer. He's my husband. We communicate about everything, to the point where we don't have a weak relationship because we talk about everything. There's no lies, there's no nothing behind the scenes, because that's what I wanted from a relationship and that's what I've got in a marriage. I understand that people make bad decisions and some things are mistakes, but if it's twice, it's a choice. Like, he didn't do it once, he did it twice, and I was like, that's a choice. You know, you make a mistake once but you've done it twice. You know, that is what you chose to do, and you chose to be immoral. And I think cheating is immoral. You know, I don't want anyone to please come for me and be like, oh, you're so judgmental, because I'm not judgmental. You know, cheating has happened very close to my heart. I've seen a lot of people completely destroyed from being cheated on. So I think that's one thing I'm very, very strong about. Again, I've seen relationships that have gone through cheating and come out better the other side. So you just can't judge someone until you've walked in their shoes. But from my perspective, I think it's the worst thing you could do to someone. You leave someone with complete insecurities. You leave someone always thinking that they're not the right person for you, always second guessing themselves. And also the fact that you've actually gone out and put your private parts in with someone else. Like, I know that sounds horrible, but that's true. I just don't know. Then other barriers were put in place by her, which made our relationship even harder. It was the hardest relationship I've ever been in my life because of external factors. Like, it wasn't really him and I. We didn't argue really. Like, we had a solid relationship. We were very much, you know, in it. But everything else was very difficult. Although, looking back now, I definitely should have seen the trigger signs. The trigger signs being that I just felt like I was being sponged off. Like, we'd go out for dinner and he'd take my debit card and pay for everything. And I was like 5 years younger than him, earning no money, and I was paying for everything. I paid for everything. And listen, I understand in relationships, one person earns more than the other. It's not about that. It's, you know, give and take. But there was no drive on his part. He didn't drive to want money. He was just a bit of a bum. And that for me was like the biggest part in our relationship. But I do want to tell you exactly what happened. But then unfortunately, something happened which we never, ever thought it would come to. And that is the cliffhanger I'm going to end on you today. I'm really sorry if that was really annoying. These story times are so hard to edit because I'm telling you, remembering what happened back in the day is so hard. So I have to reshoot so many things because I'm like, no, that wasn't right. Like, it's so hard to remember everything, and I feel like I'm missing so many steps, but I'm trying to keep it short and sweet, you know. I don't want to keep boring everyone. But I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Please definitely make sure you give this video a massive thumbs up. I will see you on Tuesday for a very good video with my husband. I cannot wait. See you on Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday, and next Sunday for the next part of this story time. I love you with all my heart, and until next time, I'm going to love you and I'm going to leave you. Bye. I love you so much. My hair still hasn't dried, and I look like a drowned rat. Oh, wow.